Something happened yesterday that will change everything. It didn't get much, if any, coverage in the mainstream media because most of the mainstream media is focused on Zelensky asking for more money in Ukraine, or actor Ben Stiller flying to Ukraine to tell Zelensky that he's his hero. Yeah, that happened. Or drag queen shows at your local kids' schools. All of those stories had a ton of coverage. But we here on this show saw what happened yesterday, and it is a game changer. And I believe it lays the groundwork for what you might call World War III. We'll get to that in a second. But first, some context in all of this. Now, most wars are fought over resources and money. Just look at all of the countries that the United States has invaded over the past 20 years. It's not about helping those people. It's about something far worse. Let's go down the list of U.S. invasions. So U.S. troops are in Ethiopia right now. Why? Even Secretary of State Antony Blinken doesn't know exactly why. I have an idea. Well, they're there because of mountains of natural gas, gold, copper, platinum, all great energy resources to heat American homes. Syria. The United States invaded Syria, has thousands of troops sitting right now on Syria's oil reserves. The U.S. says it's simply guarding it for the Syrian people. Come on. Anyone with a brain knows the truth. Can you imagine if another country came into the United States and parked troops on our oil reserves and claimed they were simply guarding it? What would we do? Don't answer that. President Biden just launched a new invasion of Yemen. Yes, in a letter to Congress this year, Joe Biden said that the U.S. military presence in Yemen is to, quote, protect U.S. interests. What could those interests be exactly? Well, in Yemen, that country is rich in oil, gold, copper, nickel. Nickel is very important for electric batteries. Now, to listen to all of these politicians spin it, we are there to protect the people of Yemen. Sure, just like we care about the people of Afghanistan or the people of Iraq or anywhere else. Where else has the United States invaded recently? Somalia.
President Biden has ordered the re-establishment of U.S. troop presence in Somalia.
Oh yes, President Biden just re-invaded Somalia after President Trump brought those troops home from there. Biden just last month sent them back. Somalia is filled with precious metals that are untapped. Just needs the right U.S. companies with big contracts to extract all of it. If only they had armed troops that could help them while they're extracting all of these minerals. We could go on and on. The United States has U.S. troops deployed in at least 159 countries at last count. It's likely higher than that right now because these numbers are from 2021. So what is the United States so worried about? Well, what happened yesterday could be the answer and the key focal point of a future world war, which many smart people in the United States believe we're already in. And Russia believes we're already in a world war. So yesterday in China, Russian President Vladimir Putin made a shocking announcement. He was there for the BRICS conference, which is a conference between Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And Putin said this.
В свою очередь, расширяется российское присутствие в странах пятерки.
Don't speak Russian? Neither do I. I'll paraphrase for you. He's announcing a new partnership with these countries to create a new reserve currency between these 5 countries. This reserve currency will be based on the currency of the 5 countries. But if you blink, you'll miss the real story here. That's because those currencies are based on commodities like oil, precious metals like gold, and lithium. Cambridge Institute says this could de-dollarize the world. Just listen to what they say about the US dollar as the reserve currency of the world. This is a little academic speak for you, but bear with me. I'll put on my reading glasses to read you this academic speak, which is, together, these initiatives suggest that BRICS has not only attempted to reform the existing system to better incorporate its interests, but it has also created a nascent de-dollarization infrastructure that supports global de-dollarization in the long term. BRICS' collective efforts to establish an alternative non-dollar financial system have the potential to completely immunize participants from both exchange and sanction risks stemming from the dollar's dominance and the U.S. hegemonic position. So that means they will be immune from the U.S. threats because their own new currency will be based on these minerals which are right under their feet in China, with massive lithium reserves and huge oil reserves in Russia. The list of minerals and commodities are endless in this region. Meanwhile, in the 1970s, the United States government took the US dollar off the gold standard. So now the US dollar isn't backed by anything, just debt. And the U.S. troops invading other countries are there to protect U.S. interests. So it's backed by U.S. troops also. That's why the real war is being waged over minerals and resources like oil, nickel, copper, uranium, and perhaps most precious of all right now, with the electric car explosion, is lithium. Here's what CNBC says about America's lithium problem.
The U.S. government has a lithium supply problem. Just about every major automaker has announced a transition to electric vehicles. Tesla delivered nearly 1 million cars in 2021, and a handful of new EV companies are finally rolling new models off the line. In order to power all of these EVs, we will need lithium-ion batteries, lots of them.
That's why E3 Lithium Company is sponsoring today's video. They've been kind enough to share what they're doing in Canada right now to shore up lithium resources in North America, and it's actually pretty amazing. Now, I invest in precious metals because unlike the US dollar, these minerals are finite, and so the companies that are pulling them out of the ground are also finite. There's not enough of them. Companies like Tesla and Ford right now are struggling to get access to lithium for their electric car batteries. And as Russia and China are solidifying their partnership, do you think they're going to be opening up to U.S. companies mining lithium in their own backyard? Of course not. So pay attention to what E3 Lithium is doing right now. This morning, as of this morning, they actually just announced a brand new partnership with the Imperial Oil Company to advance a lithium extraction pilot project in Alberta, Canada. Now, what they're going to do is explore for lithium inside of a historic oil field. So what makes E3 Lithium Company so remarkable is their proprietary lithium extraction process. They're actually able to extract the critical mineral from the lithium-rich brine, which they bring up out of the earth, which then leads to its commercial use in batteries that Tesla, Ford, and other major manufacturers need right now. So would Ford rather get its lithium from Canada or China? Well, the answer is obvious, especially if the United States advances further sanctions on any of these countries, especially with what's happening in Taiwan. Also, this lithium process is sustainable as well. Here's how it works. E3 actually drills into the lithium well, then it brings up this brine liquid that's filled with lithium. Then the mineral is removed from the water, and then that water is sent back to the spot where it was taken from as part of a closed loop process. This is expected to be up and running by the end of the third quarter of this year underneath that oil field. This is huge. Again, I invest in these mineral producers because I know how valuable they are, and I also know their potential. So if you want to invest in their projects, you can buy shares of E3 right now on any of the major brokerages. Here is their stock ticker. It's on your screen. It's ETMC. Their stock was trading this morning at $1.72 Canadian dollar right now. So it's very cheap. I'll have a link to their website in the description below. I would encourage you all to go and do your own due diligence and read about this company, read about lithium, and see exactly what is going on right now in this space and why we have such an enormous shortage of lithium worldwide. Our thanks to E3 for supporting what we do here on this channel. Anyway, protect your family's wealth away from these globalist billionaires and governments. Get educated. Understand what's happening to our money supply in the United States. I will have a link below to their mineral report. You should all read it right now, and I'll see you again next time.